Once again, hello. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you very much for tuning up. It's just so good to share this work and get it out there. And if you learn this modality or do this work in the future, you certainly will not need anything else, which is so powerful. Doing this work for about 6 months, I was able to eliminate all resistance to creating anything, including, which we're going to cover today, which is public speaking, creating video content, me being right here, right now, completely relaxed with zero resistance. But it wasn't always like this. And we'll do some slides now so we can go through that. So cool. I'll just get this started from the beginning. So you are not broken in society, and we'll come to the board shortly. I'll be able to do some drawings for you. But we are not broken. Society teaches us that we have something wrong with us. The governments, the health system, all the rest of it. It gives us the indication that when we have something wrong with us, which is just resistance to creation, anxiety, whatever it may be, fear, that you're broken and you have to go fix yourself. And it's just not true. All we're basically in is the wrong structure. And I'll get to that shortly, as I mentioned. When we're in the wrong structure, we're just going to get more of what we want. Because thoughts are things that we think about, we bring about. So if we're actually focusing on dysfunctional patterns, we will just get more of it. So this preview event today is all about stepping into private speaking, creating video content, and removing the resistance, which is cool. So I'm also going to show you a structure as to why success is not personal, it's just structural. So how to remove unwanted feelings and emotions that don't serve you. What's going on here? My goal was to show you by removing resistance with a Superconscious Recode and working from the right structure, you can become a powerful superconscious creator and live a life that you love, which is just so awesome. Today's session is for you if you want to become a 6 or 7 figure influencer, impact millions, do what you love, become a public speaker, create live content for your business. If you want to have better health or more energy, strong relationships with friends and family, more wealth, no debt, less discomfort and frustration. More confidence, the freedom to do, be, and have anything that you choose. So I appreciate you and you're here. That's what I will guarantee for you today. It was I'll not waste your time. I'll give you actionable steps if you choose it. I will offer the next step with me for those who want to take it on, and there's quite a few options for that. I'll stay around and answer your questions at the end, and I'm so grateful that you're here because it's my journey to go out there and serve as many people as I can and create as many entrepreneur and business owners and just people out there doing what they love just because they love it. So the best, to get the most out of this training, the best thing to do is turn off your phone and be present, take loads of notes, and then after we do the recode, do the process, it's very important that you take action so that we can teach our unconscious that this is a new way of being. Focus on your end result and play full out. What we will cover today, education on how your consciousness works, structure and why success is not personal, how the Superconscious Rapid Recode works to remove resistance and beliefs that don't serve you. Because of this program and this work that I've been doing for the last 80 months, I've been able to create my own coaching company, which is a passion and something I always wanted to do. Build a successful global business. I have clients all around the world now, which is so exciting and so cool, the power of Zoom. Feature in podcasts and host live virtual events. Become one of over 700 certified coaches teaching this methods and living a life of freedom. So I get to choose what I want to do when I want to do it, which is just so powerful. But it wasn't always like this. A dream come true. Here's me doing a live event there in the middle. There's my beautiful wife and children, Noah and Bella, who's 8 and 12. That's us hanging out in Phuket, having some R&R. So it wasn't always like this. So basically, prior to doing this work and removing the resistance, I always wanted to be a coach, but I struggled with it. I was a husband and father who was losing interest in the personal development business that we owned, and I wanted to help people, but struggled getting past my own feelings of not being good enough and the big one, not belonging. I felt like I wanted more out of life, but was stuck in my own skin. I was trying to make it work. I created my own healing and transformation program, which was getting great results, but the problem was we had to talk about it. I studied and learned many different modalities. I was on this journey of trying to fix myself, trying to resolve this dysfunctional patterns that I had. I enrolled in many different coaching programs, seminars, and attended many personal development events. But then everything changed. I came across an advert on Facebook from a man called Christopher Duncan, and it completely changed my life, which is just so powerful. I attended the online event. I got signed up. Very, very similar to this one. And from that moment, I knew I'd found the secret, the magic. The missing piece of manifestation and transformation is the superconscious recode. The superconscious is the power of information. It's your information. It's everything around you, which is so cool. So it's there in design. We access it through your intuition, and it's designed to give you all the information that you need to have a quality of life, because it just wants to see you do the best that you possibly can. So what happened next is I spent over $20,000 and completed 6 months study. I got certified in this modality to teach this revolutionary cutting-edge process, which is so powerful. And it's based around 20 to 30 years neuroscience that gets results in minutes, not months. So you'll literally find after doing this, doing the Recode today, that you'll instantly notice a difference. I started my coaching business. I launched my website, gregjonesnz.com. Hosted my first live event. Previous to doing this, I struggled with public speaking and creating video content. And it was through this work I was able to eliminate all resistance. So when I did that event, I simply did a few recodes around public speaking and getting up in front of people and talking, and I had zero resistance. And I can remember quite clearly, because I can remember being up in front of everybody, and I just was completely calm, which is really, really cool. So I created my own program. So we've got a 3-month program, we've got a 4-week program, we've got a masterclass, which is really powerful. Here's been some of my results. Here is Charlie. Charlie Greg has guided me to a better place in life. It was like I was being born into a new life. There is much more positive and happiness in his life now. And I helped let go of self-limiting beliefs and most constant anxiety. Charlie suffered from a lot of anxiety, but also he had suffered from heart palpitations. So about every hour he'd have 40-odd heart palpitations where his heart would skip out a beat. And that was basically emotions and feelings on past memories, his experience he went through as a child that created those. So once we actually removed those, his heart went back to normal, and has been ever since. And he's out there creating and doing some great things, which is really cool. He's actually doing lots of videos as we speak. Also, Renee, she had a blocked throat chakra. She'd always wanted to be a public speaker and be out there, but she struggled with it. So we did a session, unblocked her throat chakra, took her back into time when she was younger, and back into those memories as a child, which had those emotions and feelings that don't serve. We removed them. And she actually did a live, and it's on our website, did a live that day and sent it to us, which was really, really, really cool. Here's left Chris Duncan, my mentor. He's here with the gentleman Dean with the dark glasses. Now, Dean was blind. He couldn't see. He had a stroke when he was 42, and he was able to use this work to get his eyesight back, which is pretty powerful. It took 3 months. And the key thing about this work is we always focus on what we want to create. We focus on that desired reality. And that's a beautiful thing about what Dean did, is he focused on all he wanted to do was be able to play with his grandchildren, kick the ball around, play in the backyard. And because of that, he simply focused on the remove all the resistance to creating that, getting up out of his wheelchair and actually getting his sight back to do that. And like I said, within 12 weeks, he started to see again, which is so powerful. And that's the thing about this work, is we always focus on our desired reality. We focus on what we want to create. And we focus on our current reality, which is, which is less than our desired reality, and I'll come to that shortly, that we just get more of it. So not once did Chris, with Dean, talk about the fact that he was blind and that it was a problem. All he focused on was creating time with his grandchildren. Same with Patrick. He wanted to not walk but run. He was in a car accident and was disabled, so he used this work to be able to run again, which is so powerful. Once again, all he focused on desired reality was I'm a runner, which is so cool. So proud of those guys. So the 6 sabotaging beliefs that we have: I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't belong, and I'm not perfect, not capable, and insignificant. These are the 6 main ones, and I'll come back to those shortly. I'll do some drawing on the board here. So what we have our current reality, and then we have our desired reality. You guys can see that, cool, yep. So when we focus on our desired reality, say for example, we want more success. In this case, we're going to talk about public speaking. So say for example, I want to be a great public speaker. I want to make fantastic video content. I want to do lives. when we focus on this, if we're not doing it now because we have too much resistance, then this is obviously more than our current reality, because the current reality is we're not doing it yet. So this simply would be more, and this would be less. So if we were, for example, if we were to put here for like finance abundance, for example, having more money than what we currently make now, then here obviously we might be broke. If we're not public speaking, we might be obviously stuck in not being able to have the feeling of being able just to go out and do it, go out and create it. So we might have anxiety. We might feel like we're broken in some way or form because we can't just get up and public speaking, can't create video content just because there's fear too much. Now, when we're in this current reality and we're going for what is it we love, we want to be taking action. So we might try it. We might get up and talk in front of a couple of people, or do a speech at a wedding, or talk in front of a group at work. And when we're talking, say, for example, the team at work, we get all this resistance that pops up. Oh, you're not good enough, you're not capable, anxiety, the body sweats, all the stuff that gets in our way. Now, how that is created is from our current identity. And what it's basically doing is it's putting up this resistance to creating public speaking, because it believes that if it goes over here to this current identity, which is a new identity, which is different from this one, then it could die. So it tries to pull you back because it doesn't want you to have this yet, because it doesn't know. Now, the key thing about our consciousness, we have our conscience in here. We have our unconscious. Now, our conscious is all about thought. It's our ego. It's everything we think about. Our unconscious is all about feeling. It's all about keeping things the same. And the big thing with the unconscious is all about survival. It wants to have a quantity of life. This is quality of life. So our conscious is like, yeah, let's go jump out of a plane. Our unconscious is like, no, what are you doing? You could die. You know, it's so high up. You know, it doesn't actually understand. So the feeling around, for example, jumping out of a plane, your unconscious is always trying to pull you back. Whereas your conscious is like, yeah, let's just go do it. Let's jump out of the plane. It sounds like fun. So your conscious is all about fun. It's all about exploring and taking action. Your unconscious is all about pulling you back, keeping you the same, keeping your survival, and making sure your feelings are good, because your unconscious does not like to experience sad, painful feelings. So what it basically does is your identity in here is when you're going for your desired reality to have more, the resistance pops up. Now, your identity puts this resistance up to pull you back, not because it's not on your side, but it's because, remember when you were a child and you experienced that? You experienced all that pain, so it's actually trying to pull you back so you don't experience more pain, because over here it doesn't know what exactly is going to happen. It knows here exactly what's going here, so it tries to just give you more of this because that fits the unconscious pattern at the time, our current reality. So say, for example, if we look at the 6-year-old girl who, you know, she goes back to school on a Monday and the whole class has to draw a picture and draw a picture about what they did with their parents the weekend, the excitement, the fun, and all the rest of it. And the wee girl, she's got her picture, she draws it, it's her turn to go up in front of the class, and as she's going up in front of the class, she trips over. And the whole class laughed at her because it was funny. They weren't laughing at her personally, they were simply just laughing at her because it was funny. You know, she tripped over, it was funny. So she'll, at that age of 6, she'll put up a memory of pain around getting up in front of people and talking. Now, that might serve her when she's younger to stop her feeling more pain or being embarrassed or discomfort around other kids. But when she becomes 20, 25 and she wants to get up in front of and do a speech in front of a massive group of people, or at work or on stage or whatever, she's going to have the same memory come up. The old identity is going to go, no, remember when you were 6, you did this, you got up in front of people, it was embarrassing, it was discomfort, there's all that pain, so I don't want you to do it again. So the resistance that was put on there at a 6-year-old, the emotions and feelings on that memory, now at 25 is not serving. Now, if we did a recode on that girl at the age of 25 and removed emotions and feelings, which you're going to experience today, she would simply then just get up on the stage and be full of wisdom. Because what happens is when we have our neuron and we have emotions and feelings attached to these memories in our neurons. We have over 100 billion in our head and millions in our heart and our stomach. When we do the recode, we're actually disconnect the neuron from the emotions and feelings. The emotion and feelings will leave the body, and then that neuron becomes wisdom, which is so powerful. So it then serves us. So that girl would simply get up on the stage and she'd be like checking to make sure there's nothing she can trip over. She'd probably test the microphone. She'd probably be a couple of minutes early. She'd be looking, make sure the lights, where do I stand, how I'm dressed. She'll have it all sorted out because it's now wisdom, rather than previously having the emotions and feelings on that memory that doesn't serve her. So what we basically have to do here is when we're going for a desired reality, we have to remove this resistance because it stops us taking action. And this is the key. It stops us actually having what we love. Now, when we're going for what we love, we might have resistance like fear, anxiety, not good enough. It could be just the fear of success. You know, what if I get it right? The fear of failure. All the stuff that the current identity is putting up is to put us back, like I mentioned. Now, what happens in society, which is, we'll get back to the you're not broken. What society teaches us is, right, there's something wrong with you. Come back here and let's do, say, a course on it. Let's do some therapy. Here, read a book, whatever it may be, etc., etc. It teaches us we have to go fix ourselves. There's something wrong with us. We're broken, and we're not. All this is doing is telling the old identity, yeah, you are broken. Yeah, you're living in fear. Yeah, there is something wrong with you. And the old identity loves that because it knows it, because it is it. So what happens is we might have some wins with some beautiful heart-centered therapists and psychologists and all those people out there that really, really mean well. We might have a win. So we'll shoot back up here and then we'll go for it again. And then this other resistance pops up, or the same resistance, but it's stronger and it pulls us down. We might do another program, do some more therapy. Then we'll come up here and we'll go for it again. And we'll come back down here. Who recognizes this pattern? If you recognize that pattern, just put a yes in the chat, because this was certainly me. This is what I was doing. I was studying different modalities. I was going to different programs. I was going to different live events. I was doing different courses, trying to figure out what, excuse me, what this is and what's in my way. And the beautiful thing is, there's nothing wrong with you at all. We're just focusing in the wrong structure. So when you're in here and going round and round and round, you're basically stuck because you're not creating, you're not taking action on what you love. When we're doing this pattern, what are we not doing? We are not creating what we love, and that's key. Because when we're in this creating what we love, we are flowing. In between, we're isolating. So you might be having some success around certain things in life. So you might be having success where you're flowing. And then you have some resistance or a bad day or some stuff happens and it pulls you back. You're like, oh, really? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really good enough? You might take more action. You can swing like this for isolating. If we're isolating, it's dysfunctional because we're still coming back to this structure. We don't want to be in the stuck structure. We want to be in the flowing structure, because this is where you're coming from inner power. This is where you're at your best. This is where you're just doing everything because you love it. And it's really, really easy to be motivated, and everything just flows. But this was me. I was stuck. I was trying to create success in whatever I was doing, and I kept getting pulled back. Then I'd have some success. I'd create a business and start flowing. Then I'd be pulled back, and I'd be flowing, pulled back, all because of the emotions and feelings of memories that doesn't serve us. So that's why success is not personal. It's just about being in the right structure. You need to be in the flowing structure. In this work, we step into this flow. We take action around it. The resistance comes up. And we remove it by using the processes in the program or the Superconscious Recode, which is really cool, which we did the recode today. So we simply here, we just be it before we see it. And what we mean by that is we just become it now. We just step into it. And how the recodes work, which is really, really powerful, when we close our eyes, we're shutting off our conscious thoughts. We can't bring in all that information, 20 million points of information a second, because everything is energy. And our unconscious, when our eyes are closed, believes it to be true. So with our eyes closed, our unconscious, if you picture yourself walking down the beach, it believes it to be true. When it believes it to be true, that's when it puts resistance up. So say, for example, you can try it now. Close your eyes and picture yourself being on a stage talking in front of 10,000 people. Just picture it. The video cameras, the family, the friends, the workmates, strangers are all there waiting for you to speak and do your talk. And you might be standing on that stage now and noticed it and just all of a sudden felt resistance. That resistance is in here. And how we remove that is by, here is you, here is me. You have a field of information around you. Same as I have a field of information around me. We're like two dots in the ocean, for example, but we're still the ocean, but we're actually individual dots of the ocean, so it's the same. What happens is you give me permission to access your superconscious up here, and then I go in there and I actually give the superconscious instructions to go in the unconscious and take off the emotions and feelings off the memories. So no parts of you die. Nothing is actually removed apart from the emotion and feeling. Now your superconscious is, for example, in this picture, the field around you. The superconscious is the field around, which gives you all the information you require. So if we're in the structure here, indicating that we're broken and we're living in fear, the superconscious will just give us what we need, law of attraction, for that. If we're in the flowing, the superconscious will give us what we need for that. And that's why the law of attraction does suck if we're in the wrong structure. Because if we're feeling this, law of attraction, we're just going to get more of it. That's why we need to step into feeling this and create this. So basically, in that sense, once I get permission to access superconscious, I'll simply go in, remove the emotions and feelings off the memories that don't serve you. When you're going through that process, you might get a few twitches, you might feel some energy. It's different for everybody because everybody's had different memories at a different stage, but that's simply how that works. And when we remove the emotion and feeling off the memories, you'll actually feel it when you get the clicks and whatnot. It's actually leaving your body completely. So afterwards, you'll feel a bit spaced out because we now have new space in our neurons because we've disconnected them all, removed what doesn't serve us, and then you feel spaced out for about 24 hours. So just make sure you drink a whole lot of water afterwards. When I'm going through the recode process, I'll also get you to write a list and take action after the call, which is so powerful because we've got to take action to create this new identity that we're online public speakers, etc. We can talk in front of groups or take video content. Now with this identity here, because we're going to create this new identity, just be it before we see it, the old identity has to die, and identities don't like dying. So this actually has to become this, and that's the structure of it being in flowing. So this identity here, if you decide to do this work moving forward for the next 4 weeks, will put up all the resistance it can. It'll throw a cocktail of emotions and feelings at you to try and pull you back so you don't go into this. But once you've experienced this, and that's the beautiful thing about these processes, is every time we do a process, we actually feel better. The unconscious starts to notice it. So it starts to improve. So we have more satisfaction and less pain. So after 3 to 4 weeks of doing this work, the identity simply becomes this, and it actually loves it because it knows it's not going to die. It knows that it's feeling better. And then after 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks is probably a good number, it becomes a new habit. So then it can keep things the same, this new thing. So say, for example, as a child, we have something bad happen to us, and then we pull back and we become quiet as a child or whatever that may be. Once we've done that for 4 weeks, our unconscious believes that being quiet is the way to be. And as a child, we become quiet because we don't want to speak out because we got told off or ridiculed by our parents, the teacher, or whatever. So once we get pulled back and we become quiet, that's our new way of being until we remove the emotion of feeling off that past memory, so then we can be loud again and actually believe that it's okay to be loud. Such powerful stuff. How are you all getting on there? Are we enjoying it? Just let me know in the chat if you're getting lots out of it and you're enjoying it. It'd be great to hear from you. So what I'll do now is I'll just share my screen again. Okay, Jared, no problem at all. I will email you the recording. Just share my screen, get the slides back up. Cool. So the 6 sabotaging beliefs, as I talked about before. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't belong. I'm not perfect. I'm not capable and insignificant. These sabotaging beliefs are, you may have a little bit of all of them, or one or two of them may really stand out. But these sabotaging beliefs are basically emotions and feelings of memories that don't serve us. So for example, if we have a belief that we're not good enough, we're always going to be out there taking more action to be good enough. If we have the belief that you're not worthy, you'll always be trying to serve and be worthy of others. If you have the feeling of don't belong, you'll always try to create communities and businesses with a whole lot of people so you can step into it and have a sense of belonging. Not perfect. You'll find that your house and everything around you is completely perfect, and it has to be the best that it can be to give you that sense that you're perfect. And then you're probably not doing a lot of creations outside that because you're too focused on your surroundings, you know, your house, your job, etc. Not capable. You're always out there trying to learn more, be more, become capable. I'll do another program, I'll do another course. You probably find you've brought these programs and haven't even finished them, then you're on to the next one because you believe that by purchasing this program and having it and then doing it, you'll become capable. But then you get it and then you realize you're not capable, so you don't actually finish it. And insignificant. So that's normally an insignificant as you're always looking for status. So the third child in a family can always have quite a bit of insignificance. Also, if you're looking for that corporate lawyers, doctors job, etc., you're trying to get significance out of life by becoming that corporate. So cool. So 4 orientational choices. What we do in this work is we step into this work, we choose a life I love, we choose health and vitality, we choose to live my true nature and purpose, and my predominant creative force, which is just taking action around everything that you do just because you love it, for no other reason. The journey to superconscious living, so pure creative spirit up the top there. Now what happens is when we're born, we're created inside mum's tummy and we're in there for 9 months. While we're in there, we have no limitations and we have it all. We're basically living a life that we love. We believe that this possibly is what it is, and we can just get food when we want, it's warm when we want. We're basically living everything we want, which is really, really cool. Because we get inside mum's tummy, we're attached to her, we can just go to the toilet when we want to, we can hear mum, dad's voice, so everything's very comfortable and we're just loving life being in there. But then comes a day when we're born, and we actually get born, and we actually take our first breath as a human, we get our cord cut, and we realize that that's not life, this is life. We take on limitations around that as we're growing up, especially in those first 5 years, limitations to who we are. You know, like quite often the not good enough sabotaging belief, which was the first one we talked about, quite often can happen to a child who is dropped off at daycare. And this is not for everybody because every child's different. But if a child goes to daycare and then sees its mum go away and wave goodbye, it can put up a belief it's not good enough, because why else would mum leave me here? Why else would mum drop me off with all these strange people and leave me? I must be not good enough. So these sabotaging beliefs can be created from all sorts of things, all sorts of limitations as a child. And none of it's generally true, because mum just has to go to work to get the money to feed us, to pay for the house or whichever. So it's not that she's doesn't want us in any way or form, she's trying to do what's right. It can be the same thing at going through schooling system, and we get picked on, or we have a bad experience, or someone lets us down or bullies us or whatever. We'll put up all these memories that we're not good enough, we're not capable, we're not worthy, whichever. And that'll just stick with us all the way through until we remove it. Now, all these emotions and feelings on those memories as a child has been put there at some stage by our superconscious, the field of information, and put it into us unconscious, put up, attach it to a memory to stop us having more pain in the future. So the best way to remove that is by reusing your superconscious, asking it to go in and remove it, which is really, really cool. So the superconscious living. Number 2 there, become an individual with limited perspective. Number 3, orientate to the world through limitations. What we mean by that is we start to see the world based around, you know, religious views, world views, parents' views, society's views, TV views. We take on all these views and orientate towards it. And what we do in this work as you move through those numbers, what we're basically doing in this work is we're actually deciding to choose the right structure. And that's where we got the shift. We make a choice, we choose the right structure, we remove the resistance, do the recode, and then we simply go back to that pure creative spirit of having it all. That's what's so powerful. Once we remove all these problems, motions, and feelings off the memories, we can simply be in flowing, and we can just have it all. And it's just so powerful. And that's what I love about this work. So we'll get into the recode very shortly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get to choose a true goal, which you can choose anything you want to, but today's call is all about public speaking or creating video content. So I would certainly choose that if you choose, and make it big, make it your big on the stage, talking in front of all these people. We'll create the structural tension. And that's the tension between being on stage and what's it like now. And then we'll get a number between 1 and 10, and that'll just show us before and after process of the resistance that we've removed. We get into the emotional content of that end result. What's it like being on the stage? I just love it. All the beautiful feelings of what I want to be as a public speaker, whatever it is for you. With the we'll unplug to the recode, and then all you have to do afterwards is take a line action. Cool. Cool. So I can stop that. Excellent. So Maria, is it public speaking you'd like to work on today? Is that why you're here, or video content? We can, because it's just you on the call now, we can be a little more specific if you choose. Just put into the chat what you'd like to, and I can work around it on that for you. So if you'd like to work on both, but more interested in creating video content right now, excellent, cool, rightio. So what I'd like you to do is just to close your eyes and step into creating video content. I want you to see you're in front of the camera. There's hundreds of thousands of people looking at it. And because of this, you're selling your product, you're selling your content, everybody loves it. Really step into that desired reality, that flowing desired reality of just loving it. Really step into what's it like, where are you, what are you doing? Picture your office, picture the laptop, the camera, picture all of it. Picture watching it on social media afterwards or whatever it is for you. If it's creating the video content for your program, step into that. Step into finishing it, that feeling of just knowing you've finished it and how awesome it is. Step into the gratitude, the love of all that creation. Excellent. Now open up your eyes. Now you'll notice by stepping into that, you can feel the resistance in here. So what I want you to do is to pick a number between 1 and 10. Your desired reality is 1. The current reality is 10 of resistance. So I want you to pick a number between 1 and 10 of what the resistance is around making video content, and just put it in the chat for me. So you quite possibly find it's closer to 10 because you've got a lot of resistance. And this is number 8. Excellent, thank you. So now number 8 is up here, which is great. Now this is the number between 1 and 10. The process is just for our conscious part of our brain to see afterwards how we've had that shift. So excellent. So what I'd like you to do now, let's do the recode. If you've got any water, you can have a quick drink. It'll take about 10 minutes or so. And all you're basically doing is giving me permission to access the superconscious. I go in there and I just give it instructions. Your unconscious won't do anything that it believes is not of value to you as a survival mechanism, and that's fine. As a metaphor, we could say that it's like a sports field, a rugby field, soccer field, whichever. We're at one end of the field and we're looking down at the other goals. That goal is our desired reality of creating video content. And we've just noticed all these gophers have dug holes in the field. So what the recode basically does is go along and fill in all those holes, smooth them all over with a feather, so we can simply be in our desired reality, public, creating video content, etc., public speaking. So close your eyes and let's step into it. Let's step into this beautiful feeling of creating this video content. Notice what you notice. Notice the video content, the programs, the doing, the lives, whatever it is for you. Notice all of it. Notice how powerful it is. Just know that you've done it, that you're creating your content. And you're getting great feedback and comments that everybody's loving it. Just really step into having a desired reality of flowing and creating all this video content. Really step into it. Now I want you to notice what's around you. I want you to see See it with your eyes, breathe it with your mouth, hear it with your ears. Really step into giving as much sense as possible around this desired reality, this beautiful choice, doing video content. And so really step into it. And then just say out loud that you give me permission to access your superconscious. Just will it in your heart. It's a superconscious, are you there? Yes, cool. So just set the intention to get the most out of this process. And just to quickly remind you that no parts of you die. All we're doing in this superconscious recode is removing the resistance, removing emotions and feelings off memory, so you can have more satisfaction and less pain when it comes to creating video content. And so really step into it. Superconscious, you can see this beautiful true choice we've chosen today. You can see why it's so important. Excellent, great. Superconscious, please treat all feminine and masculine beliefs, please. All resistance, please. Masculine and feminine beliefs to this true choice that I've chosen today. Creating video content is my choice. Really step into that. Or for those that are watching the recording, whatever it is for you, just step into that. Excellent. Superconscious, please treat all limitation and confidence. Please treat it the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Please treat masculine and feminine beliefs again and do a massive change history. Thank you. Good. Superconscious, please treat all alignment with desire. Definitions. Treat it all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all limitations from parents, from teachers at school, all limitations from adults, please, to this true choice we've chosen today. Please treat all resistance from all adults to this true choice, treat it the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all part personalities. Please treat the protector controller, the inner child, all part personalities, please. Treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. And now I want you to step into this desired reality you've chosen today. Creating video content, public speaking, whatever it is for you, just choose it. Really step into what it's like. Superconscious, can you see that resistance in beliefs? Please treat not good enough, not capable, don't belong, not worthy, insignificant, and not perfect. Please treat it all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all events from the past too, please. All resistance and events to this true choice. Events as a child, as a teenager, prior to being born. All events from the past, present, and future, please. Treat them all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all emotions from the past, from others and myself, please. In the present, please treat all resistance and emotions to this true choice. Treat it the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Excellent, you're doing really well. Superconscious, please treat all family history on my mother's side, 7 generations, and my father's side, 9 generations, please. Please treat it all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Subconscious, please treat all fear, shame, guilt on this true choice, please. Any fear and judgment of what others may think. Please treat it all the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all broken agreements from the past too, please. Broken agreements from others, broken promises. Treat it the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat secondary intentions and gains judgments, please. Treat it the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Also, please treat all body systems. I want you to treat chakras first, please. Treat all chakras front and back and do a massive change history. Lower chakras, sacral chakra, third eye chakra, heart chakra. A big treat, please, of resistance in the throat chakra, please. And upper chakras. Please treat all chakras front and back and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all other body systems, organs, blood flow, muscle groups, skin. Please treat all body systems in the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Excellent. Now, Superconscious, what I'd like you to do now is I want you to go back in time. I want you to go down your timeline. I want you to go out of your body where you're sitting now, looking down at your body, and I now want you to turn and look down your timeline. That's it. Look down your timeline, and I want you to go all the way back, go down through the years and go all the way back to this very first event. This very first event where you put limitations on your desired reality, creating video content, etc. Where you had a limitation in a memory where it didn't serve you in creating this true choice. And I want you to, you don't have to see that memory, you just have to know where it is. You just have to know how old you were. And what I want you to do now is to go 6 months before that, go younger, another 6 months, and see and make sure that that resistance, that feeling is no longer there, that you have the correct memory. The very first memory that created limitations on your desired reality today. That's it, all the way back to the first one. Now that you have that memory, what I want you to do is to create a new memory, and I want you to have it just before this memory, just before the old one. Create this new memory which is exciting, it's love, it's positive, it's so much fun. It's a memory that serves you. And I want you to put this new memory just before the old memory. Push it down into your timeline. That's that. Push it all the way down into your timeline, creating this new memory that serves you, that's more positive, that has an awesome outcome. That's it. Push it all the way down in there. Confirm it into your timeline. That's it. And now that we know that that's there, I want you to notice now, look towards coming back to now, notice how all the other events have changed because of this new event. I want you to slowly come up through the years, noticing how all these other events have changed. That's it, come up through the years. Whatever it may be for you, teens, 20s. Come all the way back to now, looking down at your body, come into your body, and look to the future. And notice how things are different now because of this new event. You no longer have limitation on creating your desired reality. Look at all your past events and just notice how they've all changed. Really step into how beautiful that feels, how light it is, how peaceful. Superconscious, please do a massive change history. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to visualize a circle just out from you, this beautiful white circle, this ring of white energy. It's the beautifulest white energy you've ever seen. Just create this circle out from you. And with your eyes closed, I want you to put all the resistance into that circle. Really step into it, putting all leftover resistance to creating your desired reality into that circle. That's it, put it all in there. Superconscious, you can see all this resistance. Please bring it all into the active experience, please, and put it into that circle. Good. Superconscious, please treat all resistance, please treat everything within that circle in the perfect way, the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Good. And just sit on that one for a little second or two. Just allow it to adjust. Excellent. Superconscious, please ground all the memories we've touched today and reconnect everything back in the matrix of the universe, including memories 1, 2, and 3. Also, all other memories, ego states, tandem memories, shadow memories, all levels of philosophy, past lives, future lives, parallel lives, all levels of consciousness, please, all aspects. Please ground all the memories. Thank you. And now what I want you to do is to step into what actions you're going to take. Notice what the actions are. Step into these actions. Experience these actions. What comes up for you? What are you doing around it? Who are you with? What needs to happen for you to experience and take actions on this new way of being, this new desired reality? Really step into that. That's it. And then I want you to take a couple of breaths, breathing in and out. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes, twiddle your toes, come on back. And welcome. If you've got any water, you can have a drink of water. Excellent. How was that? If we think about our resistance number, we work between 1 and 10. Say, for example, for where we're at 8, what resistance number are you now? What have you come down to? You can just throw it in the chat if you like. Now remember, the resistance, this process with the numbers is just sort of consciously, we can see that shift. Awesome. So you've come down to a 4. Excellent. So straight away, that's excellent. Straight away, we've noticed we've cut this resistance down in half. Now, anything between 1 and 5, and here, we can take action. So you've come in at a 4. So you'll find taking action for this, in your case, creating video content, is a lot easier. Anything between a 6 and a 10, there's too much resistance. It's really, really hard to create. And that's when the identity throws up a whole lot of stuff to stop you. But now that you've come down to a 4, you'll find it a lot easier. And obviously the key doing this work is basically the resistance is all the problems that's in the way. Doing this work, once we've done a few recodes, done a bit of work around it, we can actually get that down to a 0. So there's no resistance, which is really powerful. So taking action is just so easy. And like me with my videos now, I love making videos. I just about pretty much do one every day. If I don't do one, I feel uncomfortable because I just love doing them. Do I get them perfect? Of course not. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to work and be good enough. Anything from a 7 out of 10, totally acceptable. So you've just experienced the recode process. You'll feel a bit spaced out, as I mentioned. And that will just last for about 24 hours or so. You'll sleep well. Make sure you drink plenty of water. And the key things also, if you've got that pen and paper in front of you, is to write down the actions that came through as we're doing that end part of the recode. What actions are you going to take? Just write all those out. Awesome. So Maria's got, I feel a lot lighter and more optimistic about creating content and putting yourself out there. Yeah, awesome. That's what we love. And I'll just do some more slideshows here. Who here would like to do some more of this work? Watching the recording, or Maria, if you're here. Who else would like to do more of this work? Is it okay if I share my screen and I can show you the next steps if you choose? Excellent. So in this work, we designed reality. We chose today public speaking, creating video content, etc. However, we can do 4 orientational choices. So in this work, we would focus on choosing a life I love, choosing health and vitality, which is just being healthy, exercising, drinking the right water, eating the right foods, etc. Choosing my true nature and purpose. What is my dharma? Why am I here? What is my purpose in life? We work on that to pull that out and create that also. And also predominant creative force. If we're in any form of a dysfunctional pattern in here, then we're not being a predominant creative force. Our predominant creative force is just taking action because we love it, which is so powerful. Because when we're actually coming from our own inner power and creating everything that we love, it's so much more powerful. Oh, let's go pop the button. It's so much more powerful than where are we here? Ooh. It's so much more powerful than creating it from stress or worry or pain. So when we're choosing a predominant creative force, we're just creating it from our inner power just because I love it. And we have a lot of invisible instructions that we have in life, like say, for example, if you're a parent, you may be doing a whole lot of stuff in your life for the kids to make sure the kids have a beautiful outcome. You might be creating wealth so that you can one day buy them a house, etc. These are all negative visions. And I'll tell you how I can explain that. I'll tell you and explain how. Is when we're doing something for someone else, we're giving our power away to that. Now, it's a beautiful thing that we want to help our children, but in this work, we learn to focus on what we want to do just because we love it, and then we create it, and it's easy to take action. We go and create these things, and then, of course, the children are going to benefit. It's a completely different way of looking at it because it's holding on to our power and creating everything we do just because we love it. So we work through those 4 orientational choices. And that's how we can work together. Transformation takes time. To do this work fully effective, it takes up to 12 months. I certainly recommend doing 12 months work around this work. It's not a whole lot of time consuming per week, but it's just transformation takes time and progress. And what I've found doing this work myself now for 18 months, being certified and teaching with my clients, is that once we start getting you creating new things, taking on exactly what you wanted to create, that's the power and that's the difference. Because we're getting more resistance you can't see yet because you haven't created it. So as we're creating these big things, you experience more resistance. So we just remove that as we go. So the problem is giving your power away to what you think you need to create instead of what you love to create is a massive one. And being in the wrong structure is also a massive one. So we teach you how to be in your desired reality full-time flowing just because you love it and just creating whatever you choose. Focusing on trying to fix yourself is a massive problem when you're not broken because you're just going to get more of it, thoughts of things, as I mentioned earlier on. When we're focusing on our dysfunctional patterns, which is everything in here, we just get more of it. And it's really, really hard to get out of because our unconscious wants to keep things the same. And when you're not living your true purpose, it's really difficult. So the solution is you need a coach or a platform that guides you. I have a coach. I have a mentor. You have to have a coach and mentor to actually see your blind spots and actually remove what's in the way. What we want to obviously do is to go from focusing on what you don't want to what you do want, which is so powerful. The first step is to create true choices. So we have true choices in this work. Exactly, your true choices are true choices to you. I'm not a life coach. If you could decide to do one-on-one or come to masterclass or whatever you decide to do, I'm not a life coach where I don't need to give you advice and guidance on what you need to do. I give you guidance on creating what you love, but if I'm giving you advice, you can get that down, no doubt, from the local shop. What I teach you is to come from your own inner power, come from intuition so you can make your own decisions and create what it is that you love. So it's quite different. So the outcomes, you'll be creating a life you love, health and vitality, finding your true purpose, creating abundance and activating your inner energy, which is so awesome. You maybe think you don't have enough time, you're not good enough, not capable, don't have the money, the timing's not right. All of that is all dysfunctional patterns. It's all just telling you that you have a problem. That's the stuff that we need to work on. So Transformation Masterclass, we have 6 weekly live recode sessions with certified coaches around the world, which is absolutely fantastic. They're all at different time zones. So if you're in the States with the UK or Australia or New Zealand, there's at least 2 every week that you can attend. You get full access to the Magnetic Mind Kajaba University, which has got a value. We're actually in US dollars now, so I'll come to that shortly. You'll learn intuition and find your new purpose. So we have meditations in there where you can actually start learning and teaching and activating your intuition and increasing that brain muscles so you can actually have more of it. There's a Facebook group full of passionate, like-minded people, which is really cool. We're going to be doing some live events coming up shortly with 25 plus meditations. Now, meditations are so powerful because you don't have to sit around and meditate for an hour every day. All you have to do is simply meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15. We're actually listening to a meditation which creates the thought process of that meditation, listening to it, then creates the emotion and feelings. Those emotional feelings are what energize you to create. That's what the law of attraction focuses on. So meditation is so powerful, so we can create new emotions and feelings around your desired reality. And there's also over 80 recordings now in the masterclass of 11 different processes, 13 different processes now, and over 80 recordings of recorded recodes, processes. There's heaps of stuff in there from all different coaches around the world. There's all in there. The recode recordings were just as powerful, if not more powerful than the live ones, because the more people listen to them, there's more energy on the field that's around that, just like there's more dots of water in the ocean, for example. So it's really, really powerful. So the price is for your investment, which is only $29.95 US per week. It's very, very affordable. I have it set at that price factor because I want as many people to get in this work as possible. At that price, anybody can join the masterclass if they choose it. It actually works out less than a coffee a day per week, so it's pretty affordable. Or you've got the 12-month option, which is a great deal to save yourself over $600 US, and that's simply by purchasing it outright for $949 US, not New Zealand dollars. So I can change that. So it's $949 US, and you get access for the masterclass for life. It's really, really powerful. It's life-changing. It's where I started doing this work before I jumped into certification, and it completely changed my life. You'll notice it within weeks. Cool. Excellent. So I can stop sharing that. Excellent. So, Kirsten, if you want to put the link for masterclass in the chat, that would be fantastic. We also have an awesome product that we've created for removing resistance to public speaking. So if that's something you might be included, please go to the website. You'll get a link there. You'll be able to purchase that. It's got $1,200 worth of value, and we're doing it for $197. So if you're wanting to get those couple of recodes in the process, it's very, very powerful. And Kirsten's put the link in there to masterclass. So thank you so much for watching this video. Absolutely loved having you here.